declines. So we looked at what they said, and you saw the $5.5 million. We modeled it out, and we can talk about that in great detail. We weren't quite as comfortable with 6 as they might have been. We're probably a little more conservative. We obviously have a very vested interest. That's how we came up with the $5.5 million. The $5.5 million, looking at any number of potential membership declines as a result of the vote. And let me just address that. Obviously, our goal is that nobody leaves. That's why we've done as much due diligence as we have. That's why we put as much effort into it. That's why we've involved so many members in the ad hoc committee looking at the design, trying to do as best we can. But we're planning for a worst case, hoping for the best. And so when we looked at our numbers, we planned so that we could have attrition over a period of more than a year, which is the longest any club we've talked to has taken to bounce back to a steady state membership where they were before the vote. We have cash reserves to fund that. And so that's why we are comfortable at the $5.5 million number. And like I said, if anybody has specific questions, we can get into that more later. But we didn't stop with THK. We also were fortunate enough that one of our members allowed us to get in touch with the CEO of Club Corp, a guy by the name of Eric Affeld. For those of you that are not familiar with Club Corp, it is probably the largest private club operator in the nation. Over the last several years, as is fitness, it's nice to be able to bundle that product offering into that club offering so you have a more full-featured, full-service. Not everybody plays tennis, not everybody uses the swim pool, but everyone eats. And today's private club consumer wants a upscale but casual dining environment. What was number 2? Outdoor dining and fitness. Now obviously outdoor dining isn't quite as high as casual dining because casual dining can be used year-round. But during the time periods that outdoor dining is available, it's a very, very popular amenity for them, as is fitness. It's nice to be able to bundle that product offering into that club offering so you have a more full-featured, full-service offering. The third one, and Mike talked a little bit about this, practice facilities. Today's private club consumer doesn't have time to go out and play a 4-hour round of golf every day. They're busy people. They have more demands on their time. And so providing a practice facility where they can come to work on their game in a shorter period of time is very important to that private club consumer. So other comments, we touched on this, the everybody eats comment. He said it all starts with the clubhouse and the dining and the social opportunities and the social programming because that's the most used function. And it goes down, it spreads out from there. He also stressed how important, and we talked about this at length in the design process, and this was a very important part of that, how important children's amenities and family amenities that bring the kids into the club experience and make them part of the club experience, how critical that is to the new consumer. You know, when you have a parent that can come enjoy a dinner and let their kids play and have fun without having to worry about that. You know, I've got 2 kids, 1 and 3, that you may have heard screaming at time to time, and I'm sorry for that. But that opportunity to somebody with kids my age is invaluable. And the opportunity to kind of rest while they're doing their own thing and knowing they're safe is an invaluable opportunity, and that's really important for the consumers. So the next question is, okay, great, that's what you guys focus on. What's the impact? Because we want an impact. Okay, we don't just want something without a bang. We need and we want to change the financial operations of where we're at. So how's that working out for you? Eric said that member counts, the number of members at their renovated clubs have increased between 10 and 25% following the renovations. Dining covers at the renovated clubs increased as much as 70%. Okay, that's getting and approaching a 2x order of magnitude. Now that reinforces, we talked about why the kitchen is so important. The kitchen, frankly, the reason we're doing the kitchen isn't because of outside events. The reason we're doing the kitchen is because if we see a 70% increase in dining covers, we need to make sure we get you your food. And so it's important that we maintain the experience for the members and make it the first class experience, and being able to offer good turn times on food, good service, excellent service. That is a critical component of that. And so that's one of the reasons we focused on some of the back of the house stuff. 15% year-over-year increase in revenue versus low single digits for non-renovated clubs. So they're seeing it in the member counts, they're seeing it in the dining, and it's falling to the bottom line. So that's telling us that what they're focusing on is clearly working And we took that to heart and we focused on those very same things. You guys saw the diagrams, you guys saw the programming. Huge member dining. Focus of the entire renovation is on that west side on member dining. Focus on the outdoor dining. Fitness is in. Focus on the kids' opportunities. We're following the roadmap that we are getting from these other folks. So, again, you challenged us to do better. So we didn't stop with Clubcorp, we didn't stop with THK. We also looked to the industry publications. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with the McMahon Report, it is the leading private club newsletter in the industry. And the McMahon Report has on several occasions written articles and addressed, based on its research, what today's private club consumer wants. And so this actually was provided to us by Eric Gaffel, because when I was talking to him on the phone, he said, hey, look, you should really look at this article. It was just on his desk. It said, what are the offerings that are most important to today's members? Again, very casual dining, right there. Outdoor dining, right there. Swimming and fitness, family activities, year-round activities and golf practice. We checked all of those boxes with the program that we were bringing this time around. Also mentions that you need to focus on the club experience. Golf-centric clubs, while they worked a while ago, don't work anymore, because it's not all about the golf range. It's about the family. It's about the experience. So unless you're one of these clubs that everybody travels across the nation to play, and though we'd love to be that, we're not, you have to focus on the experience. You have to make it about being a club, being a community, being a group that wants to be together and wants to enjoy all the aspects. That's how you succeed. And that's how these other clubs in town are succeeding. They're making it about the experience, about the family, not just about the golf. That was echoed, and this has been going on obviously a while, that was echoed in April, very similar responses. They did a survey, did priorities for new members, and manager surveys. Manager after manager continually said that the most effective way to attract new members and keep them is improving facilities and enhancing the club's values. Now, again, you said do better, so we didn't stop there. We went and talked to the banks. Now, those of you that attended the meeting on the 4th, you may have seen Bob from First Bank here. And those of you that didn't attend, we videoed the meeting, and you can go watch Bob's comments on YouTube. There's a link at the bottom of the club's homepage. Bob said he was very excited to participate in the club's renovation process. Now, they've seen our balance sheet, guys. They know where we're at, okay? And they've been in this game with other clubs. So even though they know where we're at, even though they know what we're looking at next year, they're still extremely interested in being part of this process with us. And they've been very aggressive with the terms. Again, we want you guys to have all the information. Their last commitment letter is on the website for you to look at if you'd like to look at it. You can see what they're offering in terms of terms. So they are on board with it. And we have also talked to about every private club in Denver. Well, I don't even think about it. I think every private club. We are one of only 2 clubs in the Denver metro area who has not recently renovated. It's us and Palmer. Everybody else in the Denver metro area has renovated at this point. And every one of them, to a club, has said the same thing. It's been a fantastic thing for them. It's had the effect that it had with the Clubcorp folks. It's increased the business. It's increased the membership counts. One of the critical factors for us is looking at it saying, when can we expect to be cash flow positive? And for us to be cash flow positive under our modeling, we need to be back at our current membership level. Every one of the clubs we've talked to has returned to the membership level they were at immediately prior to the renovation vote within 1 year. Okay? That's why we think we've been so conservative with this. We've modeled for over a year and a half. So we believe that what we're seeing from other clubs merely reinforces what we're hearing from all the sources that we looked at. And the ones that have done it longer ago are now full. And that's where we want to be in a period of time. So we talked earlier, Mark Condon was introduced. Mark has been very kind and gracious with his time. Mark is the general manager of Red Rocks Country Club. Red Rocks is going through this exact same process and has been basically on the same path we've been on, but about a year early, it seems like. Mark has been kind enough to come and share his experience with us so that we can kind of hear from the horse's mouth, somebody who's been through the experience. So I'll turn it over to Mark here.